Welcome to the channel, guys. Today I'm back on 2011 Mini Cooper Clubman. There's a video not long ago that I posted, and I talked about the 30-some check engine lights, so diagnostic trouble codes, and the one component we already fixed on this is the footwell control module, which is right here. This goes down inside there next to the footwell. And what these are notorious for are basically there's a gutter here and a drain, a plastic drain that comes down. Don't mind that. That's fine. Plastic drain that comes down and then comes out over here by the fender. And just where the rubber boot or the rubber drain, where the rubber drain comes down to the little metal pipe off of the gutter, it leaks, and then it comes down the A-pillar and then gets stuff wet. And this one, hard to see, but it actually corroded a couple of the terminals off inside of there. So I sent this away to, I think it's ECU store or ECU Pros, and they tested it, said, yep, it's bad, can't fix it, because clearly you can't. I mean, I guess you could solder some of those on there, but whatever. So they sent us a new one. That got us back up and running again, but check engine light is still on. The ABS light is on. And like I said, when you and the traction control, when you check the check engine light, there's like 32 or 34 codes. ABS, traction control, a few of them, but the rest are all geared towards the CAN bus. And everything I could tell, it looks like this may have made the PCM go bad. So taking out the PCM is easy. The problem is you also have to take out another component, another module that is under the dash. And that is going to take me about 30 minutes, I think, to disassemble. So I'll walk you through some of that. But once they're out, and I don't know if I'll completely take it out. I'm going to get it loose, and then I'll drive this back around the backyard so it's not sitting in the garage this whole time. Because this computer is going to come out and that computer is going to come out, and it's got to go to those ECU guys, and those ECU Pro guys, or whatever their name is. I'll make sure it's linked right, and obviously I'll show you the results at the end of this video, but they will test these modules. They have to test them together, and then they'll charge me an arm and a leg to replace it and put it back in, and all the lights will go out. But it does still run pretty good. So it overheated once on my daughter, but she needed to put coolant in there. It's not leaking anywhere. I think it's just finally pulling it in from the head gasket job I did. Or water pump and water cooling tube, all the stuff I've done to this thing. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do that. I'll walk you through a little bit of the dash. Here are the tools that I need. Pretty simple. This little mini hyper tough drill is what I'm going to use. T20 and T25. These little radio plastic thingy removers, a couple of these in case I need T25s, and then T20 and T25 because there are a couple screws that are apparently pretty tough to get to. So I may need something to go on those. I don't have anything else right now, but I may need something, and then I've already disconnected the battery just so nothing happens. So there's other videos out there that are pretty detailed. I don't know how detailed I'm going to get, but I'm going to jump right in there. Hopefully this gives you just as good a view as any, but sure. A lot of the action's over here. There is some with these side pods, but start by popping these plastic pieces off. All right, well, as you can see, we're coming along here. All of the screws have been nearly identical. All T20, with the exception of these. So these are more like pointy screws, and then these more bulbous and flattened machine screws are for the speedo or tachometer. Everything else, and those are T25. Everything else is T20, and this kind of flat screw is the toughest one to get out up here. I had to put vice grips on the bit because you really can't get anything else. So you know, there's a T20. There's 2 screws on the side of this case. I think there's another screw here. So this, just like the duct there. So you got to take the pillar off to get to this screw, and then these here. So obviously this screw is part of, holds down this duct, but it also holds down part of the dash. And then there's some of these little screws here on the dash. See if I can, a little more light there. You see how they are kind of just molded there. One here. So I think what I've seen in the other videos is them take apart that pillar as well. I'm going to try real quick to see if I can just lift up this side of the dash, since everything else is out besides that, and leave that side to kind of flex. So we'll see if there's enough room. But again, you got to take the cover to the stereo off and the speedometer. Obviously this one's been upgraded. There's a video on that, because there's 2 screws behind here to get to, but there's 2 I think there's 2 screws on this side, 2 screws on this side, and then these screws are really tough. I couldn't get the tool on them. I don't know why. This tool would not. I just couldn't center it, so I had to use the screwdriver. But there, if you got to reach your finger down in there, you'll be able to feel them. So I kind of had to guide that screwdriver down there, but I got it. So yeah, it was what it was. But now I'm going to see if I can lift this off without pulling that side off. Alright, so can you get it apart without taking that A-pillar out? The answer is yes. I put a piece of hardwood oak flooring here where this other screw goes in up here to hold this radio cowl out. And then a gas cap for a Chrysler. So that fit? Sure. And there are 2 wire connections for this module. I can't remember the name of this module. PIP module, something module. There's I think you see that strip one. So that just pinches and pulls out, and then this one you just push here and pull. It twists, well, it pivots BMW style, but just really hard to see. But right where my finger is, I think you can see the top of it. There is another 1 single screw holding it down. And I am going to break down, and I'm going to go to O'Reilly's, and I'm going to buy the little ratcheting tool so that I don't need the stupid vice grips. And then I'll get it out, because really I'm going to leave it, everything kind of as it is, drive it, well, I'm going to get it loose, and then I'm going to go up front and we'll show you how to pull the ECM. Then I'm going to leave them loose, drive it around back, park it like I said, and then come back to this. Here's the tool. This one has a 1/4 inch, basically a ratchet that's actually affixed to it. I would rather have the one that's the hole, because when I come back over here, I don't think this one's even going to fit, because there's almost not enough room. This bit needs to come into it farther for the ones if you're going to take it apart over there and over here. But I got it. So that is done. Now I'm going to go and take ECU out. But this right here where this vent is, this gives you basically, you can't see it when you're doing it. It would be very difficult, but it's basically by feel. So this luckily gives you space to put your arm and reach up in there and just slowly creak, creak, creak. So, all right, let's do the ECM. All right, I don't know what that was stuck on, but just got to get the persuader. Just kind of pry in here and here. And it actually just kind of clicks, kind of pops. There are these little tabs are just to hold this case down, and down here, one of them's popped out, but there are two little kind of clips, sort of, that hold it in a little bit down there. So it's something, it just kind of clips in here. You don't have to pull this off. I'll put that back here in a second, but yeah, just push this down and push this little tab down here and push these over, and then these will pop up. So I'm going to take this around back, and I'm going to do that, and then wrap this video up, take all the information I need from this thing and send it in to the ECU folks. I'll let you know what that process is once I do it. All right, here is the ECM. You know, as I sent it away, hopefully half rubbed off sticker for good measure. But doesn't not help them. And then here is the other module. Not hard again to get off. The only thing is you want to roll the windows up before you turn the power off. And then, you know, because if you're going to keep it outside, the coupe, the windows come down a little bit to open the door, and then they go up when we close it to automatically because of the frameless door. But that was an adventure. I crawled out the back and then had to open the door anyway because couldn't get back in the back because you need power. So, but here we go. Batteries. I disconnected the battery before I pulled out the ECM. I was trying to clean it and it wiped part of the sticker off. So hopefully they don't need that. But yeah, I'll take the information. We will package these up, send them away, and then when I get the information back and the cost and the report, I will let you know. Hey guys, so we're back in the Mini Cooper. The computer came back, so after about $300, they told me, and I mean, so I'm pretty sure I got it wrong earlier part of this video. It's the ECU Pro. I think it's theecupro.com. If that's wrong, I'll put the link in here somewhere and in the description. But they said your computer's fine. ECM's fine. This other module's fine. MCV. They tested them both multiple times. Sent me a video. I recorded a video earlier of all the codes that this thing had. They went on and looked at it. They said they think, or they say they're all related to a module that looks like it's under this passenger seat. So, but these all tested fine. They said they put them in their car, their test car, ran it, and everything tested out. So, yeah, I'm gonna put it all back together. So it cost me $300. The testing itself was $150, and that was for them to plug it in and just scan it and do a test. And then since we can't seem to buy cars with 2 key fobs. You can order a fob. So it was 150 bucks for another fob programmed to the car. So we got another key and the computer. There is an option that if you still think this computer is bad, to go ahead and replace it. And I decided no, I didn't want to spend the $1,000 If they say it's good, I trust them, and it looks like there's another module under here, and it's completely plausible that the leaky sunroof that I already fixed has intruded under here and caused a problem. So I'm going to put these back in. I'm going to pull this thing around. I'm going to pull the seat out, and I'm going to look at this other module here. But yeah, that I did. One of the young Marines from my shop, he has an older Mercedes that his dad gave him, and the ECU went out, and these guys also do Mercedes. So Mercedes, BMW, Mini, I can't remember if there's a couple others, but he sent it away to them, and they tested the problem with his car was that it wouldn't start. It wouldn't start at all, and people thought it was the security system, but apparently on his old Mercedes, the starter solenoid is embedded in the ECU, so ECM, and I don't think they actually tested that. I think they just scanned it and tested the ECM in and of itself. I know on the Minis in their videos, they plug these into another car and they run a full diagnostic and they make sure everything works. But they probably don't do that with the Mercedes. He decided to go ahead and purchase the new ECM. And they said from what I understand, they weren't necessarily confident that it had a problem. But when it came back and he plugged in, his car started right up. So, if you're really confident that you think your ECM is bad, you can pay for it to get replaced. But as I found with the Jeep, that's not always what the problem is. So, yeah, put these back in. Yank this seat out. Well, here we are. I'm about to take the seat out. This thing wasn't starting. Under here is a brand new EverStart battery. The old Duralast Gold. It's January of 2025. The date code on that was January of 2022. So exactly 3 years. The platinum or gold batteries are like $240, maybe even $250. This one was $170, I think. You can get the 2-year warranty one for about a little over $100 at Walmart, but all the parts stores, I usually like O'Reilly, but was not inexpensive. So, all right, let me get to this thing here. It looks like these are T40s. So I got the wobble and 3/8 impact, and let's see if it'll come out without Alright, this plug is kind of weird. There's where it goes into the socket, there is this weird black holder tab, plastic black tab. You just got to pry it out, and then this thing comes out. But everything I want is under here. Of course, this camera does not do darkness well, but I'm going to try and I think I need to take this panel out, then I should be able to at least lift the carpet up and see what's under there. So let me try that. Well, this carpet, well, besides needing to be clean, it needs to be manhandled. It's just freaking stiff. There's a bracket for this seat belt that's in the way of this other thing, but I have no idea if I can even get in there. There it is. Can you see? Can you see that back there? That's it. So I'm gonna see if I can just get my 10mm on there and ratchet, spin it out, just to inspect it, I guess. That's the next one. I did look at all these wires, and I'll open up the harness. Well, I'll spread this harness as much as I can to inspect these wires, make sure there's nothing going on there. But yeah, let me check that module. Well, here it is. I don't know why it needs to be held on by 3 bolts. I started with the 1/4-inch ratchet, and these bolts are, they're like pinched at the end, so they're safety type of bolts. Just grab the ratchet, get back in there, because you'll be spinning forever. So let's open this. Let's pull the plug off. Because why would Mini make any of this simple? I probably need pliers. Come on, man. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Well, inspecting the terminals, they look fine. It's sealed, so that's a thing. The wires look fine, so I guess I'm going to research if there's any ideas on how to, and if there's any testing for this thing. I can't remember what this is called, but yeah, I don't know if there's a way to test it. I'm gonna put a screwdriver in here and see if I can open it real quick and look at it. But yeah, I don't even know if it's got to be programmed to the car. You can get this on eBay for like $50, so all right, see if I can open this up. Well, I was able to, so this is the DSC, the Dynamic Stability Control. I was able to pry the back off. It wasn't too hard. Just use this little screwdriver. It seems to be just glued on lightly, but I've scanned all the components. There's a handful of diodes and some chips on here, and I don't see any burn, dark spots, any corrosion or anything on the any of the connections for any of the components. So I think this is fine. I'm just going to get some glue and glue the back on and put it back together, and then yeah, go back to the drawing board, I guess. All right, well, I don't know what to say. I was really hoping that footwell nodule had caused the PCM to go bad, and that would have fixed it. But that's a problem. Couldn't find anything with that other, TCM, whatever control module I just took out. I don't want to spend the money to fix it because I don't think that's a problem. One of the other things that this points to, they say, is the ABS control module. That could have gone out. If it's the module and not the ABS unit itself, and with the CANBUS codes, that makes me think it's the electronics and not the, the pump. But it could be the pump module. It's part of all this one thing. That needs to be also scanned or programmed to the car. So, yeah. Thank you, Mini Cooper, for everything you've done. I might start with just replacing the ABS sensors. Put brakes and stuff on here, and I don't know, why not? So, yeah, I'm going to go test drive it real quick. And then, I don't know, I might still drive it. Like I said, it had these codes before, and it was driving just fine back and forth from Central Virginia to here when my daughter was driving it. So, we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to drive it and end this video here. I'll cut in if something happened while I drive it, but otherwise, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. You know, if you know what's wrong with this car, drop a comment for where to look next and how to test it. Don't just say send it to a shop, because I sent some of the computers out to a shop and we tested some of those things. So I will figure it out. I just need to know how to test it. I'll buy a better computer to test the ABS module if I have to. So, yeah, and I'll research some test procedures for it. But yeah, I really learned to start driving this car back to the boat because, you know, it gets more than twice the gas mileage that the Durango does. So that will be amazing. But we'll see. Maybe next weekend I'll put the sensors on it. Maybe I'll put wheel bearings on it. I don't know if I want to put struts on it yet, but I've been looking at that. Could use some struts probably pretty soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment if you know what's wrong with this thing. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video that probably won't be on this thing.